You're taking a live look right now at the Sylvan Heights Bird Park at this very hour on a nice Tuesday afternoon. It's a little bit chilly outside. Temperatures still sitting around 43 degrees. We've had persistent northwesterly winds now shifting to the south and west. So I'll have more details coming up here on your weather here in just a moment, but I want to welcome you to the 3 o'clock edition of the WITN First Alert Desk. I'm meteorologist Russell James, and hopefully you are all having a great afternoon so far. Of course, the big story have been the winds and also the cool temperatures, but there are signs that we're going to be seeing a nice warm up here over the coming days, and we're going to go ahead and go straight into your forecast. So this is what we're seeing out the door currently across a few spots, particularly at the coast. This is a live look at the Sanitary Restaurant pointing out towards Morehead City. Temperature sitting at 43 degrees, southwest wind at about 11 miles an hour. We've seen dew points all throughout the day into the teens and low 20s. It's been a bit dry, so if you are out the door today, just be sure to have the layers. Also grab the moisturizer just in case things are a bit too dry. So as you go into your evening commute forecast, so it'll still be breezy at times, temperatures remaining into the low to middle 40s. Eventually we'll drop down into the mid 30s as we head into the evening hours tonight. And if you're not really doing anything overall, this is one of those type of forecasts where if you're outdoors, maybe it's a good idea to have a bonfire, maybe have some nice hot chocolate, or maybe doing some grilling out on the stove, or in any case that might make it seem enjoyable, because tonight temperatures are going to go from the 40s down into the low to middle 30s. We'll have a wind around the west at 7 to 12 miles per hour, but it's going to quickly shift towards the south as we head throughout the overnight. That's going to allow temperatures to take off in the morning, but it's also going to be increasing the amount of wind present. And so tomorrow, if you are heading out the door, be sure to have a windbreaker. Also be sure to grab the sunglasses and a sweatshirt as temperatures start to take off into the 50s. We'll see winds sustained around 10 to 15 miles an hour for inland locations. Between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., we could see wind gusts as high as 20 to 25 miles an hour. Now, along the coast, a bit breezier, maybe even in some cases, winds getting very close to 40 miles an hour. Take a look at that. Around 10 a.m. and 12 p.m., we'll see sustained winds around 20 to 25, but gusts as high as 36 by 12, 35 by 2 p.m., even gusting still over 30 miles an hour towards 4 o'clock. So if you're going along the coast tomorrow, if you're going fishing tomorrow, just be extra careful, especially on the waters, as the waters will be very choppy from time to time. What about our temperatures? 42 by 7 o'clock, overcast conditions by 9 a.m. We'll get up to about 53 by 11 o'clock, and most of us should climb somewhere between 58 to about 61 degrees or so by the afternoon. Heading into Thursday, southwesterly winds still continue to dominate, allowing us to get closer into the mid to upper 60s. And then notice what happens there Thursday and Friday. We take a little bit of a dip down into the upper 50s. That's mostly due to a cold front that's going to be moving into the area. And when you have increasing clouds and moisture, that's going to put a damper at least on the warm up. So at least it'll be one of those days where it'll be very mild, it'll be breezy, it'll just be unsettled. So Friday morning into the afternoon, we'll continue to see some unsettled conditions, but then heading into Saturday and Sunday, temperatures rebound into the mid 60s. And heading into the weekend, we're also going to be watching out for the possibility of a few rain showers. When you look at the amount of rainfall that we've seen so far for the month of February, we've seen a few days where we picked up everywhere between 1/10 of an inch to 3/10, but notice how far and few in between the amount of rain has been, and notice the amounts have been fairly light. That's not good, especially when you're talking about our latest drought monitor that has been put out, where we're starting to see now moderate to even severe drought conditions begin to develop across a few spots. That's not good. So we need some rain across not just eastern North Carolina, but pretty much all throughout the south and the east. So again, this is one of those cases where if you're not really doing anything over the coming days, particularly going into Wednesday, you're fine. Thursday and Friday, that's when the showers will start to arrive and then pick up going into Friday night. Let's time it out closely with our next big impact. This is around 10 a.m. Thursday morning. You see the rain making its way from southern parts of western North Carolina all the way across Charlotte and into Greenville. This is where we'll see some light showers. We'll see a few casual breaks in between, but once we start getting towards around late Thursday night into early Friday, we begin to dry out just a little bit. But then notice what happens. The activity begins to pick up a little bit, especially as we head into Friday afternoon yet again. And keep in mind, all of this moisture that you see kind of in this area will be fairly light in nature, but as we go into the later part of the day, we'll have those breaks. So again, if you're watching from New Bern down into Jacksonville, down into parts of Pamlico County, we'll see some rain, and then notice how we get a break and then rain tries to sneak in going into Saturday morning. That's not good news, especially for those of you that may be trying to go to the Clark LeClaire Classic near Greenville, or if you're doing any activities along the coast. So again, when you factor in all of those rainfall coverage across the region, we could pick up everywhere between 1, maybe even close to 2 inches, especially near the coast. So again, based on this forecast, we've added a 30% chance heading into Saturday. Sunday for right now, still dry. We'll watch it closely, but given the fact that the trend has turned wetter for Saturday, just can't rule out maybe an isolated shower from time to time. So at least in the short term, Pirate Cam 43, west-southwesterly wind at about 20 miles an hour, your 8-day forecast. Nice tomorrow, unsettled conditions return going into Thursday, and then Friday we'll see unsettled conditions continue. Saturday, 30% chance of showers early in the morning, but then we'll dry out heading into Sunday. And then heading into the following week, 50s and 60s on top with overnight lows into the 30s and lower 40s. So again, I want to sit here and say thank you again for letting me know letting me know all the questions and concerns that you've had over the past couple of days. Again, we'll be sure to keep you covered for the latest information here. Be sure to stay tuned to WITN for the latest. At 4 p.m. we'll have another update here, giving you the latest news and weather across the region. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be sure to have you back here again at 4 p.m. for another weather update across our area.